here we are again. Here we are again. What's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. My name is Key. If you're here for Euphoria, you've obviously come to the right place. Hello. I'm not gonna say I'm your Euphoria correspondent. That's my official title. Key, Euphoria correspondent. And I am here to help unpack every 2 episodes because, wow, if there's one thing Sam Levinson's gonna do, it's that. It is that. What that is, insert here, you know? At the time I'm recording this, it has been 2 days since episode 4, where I have once again sat and reflected on what the hell we're doing this season. And I mean that in the best way possible, if that can be said in a nice way. And literally, like, I don't think this needs to be said. Cinematography, amazing. The directing, I'm such a fan of. I think Sam Levinson and the director of photography, I think his name is Marcel, I think they do an incredible job. That doesn't need to be stated out. Like, I think that's just a given. We've seen in season 1, and I think that same energy has occurred in season 2. What hasn't occurred on the same level is the writing, the character development. I'm just confused. I'm really confused because I think it was very interesting to see, you know, high schoolers battling insecurities, drug addictions, alcohol abuse, sexual desires, and, you know, sexual awakenings. I think it was very interestingly done in season 1, and I'm not sure at this moment in time that I can say the same thing for season 2, just because I feel like we're losing something, and I think we're losing a lot. I don't know. I think Euphoria is good, but I want to see more from the characters, and I want to see the growth or lack of growth, and I want to be told why. And I feel like a lot of the things that are happening in these first 4 episodes, I'm not entirely sure if you know, I'm not sure. So that's why we're here. We're gonna talk about it, we're gonna unpack it. So if you haven't seen episode 4, please go watch it, come back here, and stay tuned. Okay, so here we are. It's episode 4. We're halfway through season 2. Halfway. Like, we only have 4 more episodes left. 5, 6, 7, and 8. And where to even begin? I'm gonna start, you know who I'm gonna start with? I'm gonna start with Cal. We're gonna start with Cal because in episode 3, we got such... Honestly, the whole Cal's flashback in episode 3 literally could be its own miniseries, its own movie. I thoroughly enjoyed seeing that male friendship dynamic, and obviously, like, seeing those undertones. And it was really nice to watch, and I really enjoyed it. I will say, as per a lot of gay storylines that have just been involved in media itself, especially through like a straight lens, it made me very anxious because we see young Cal and his best friend, you know, have this close bond, best friends, brothers, etc. But you see that Cal looks at him differently, also knowing, you know, in the 30 years since then, that Cal is a closeted gay man or bisexual. And it made me anxious because every time you see, like, you know, best friends to lovers tropes, it's, you know, unrequited, that those feelings are matched, and especially in the male lens, I just feel like it always like goes to violence so quickly. So the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, oh my god, please, Please don't embarrass this man. And they didn't. Oh, that scene in the club. My little queer heart. Like, you know, that was so, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Cal's backstory. However, and then we remember that Cal Jacobs likes to film his sexual acts with other people without their consent. On top of the fact that he had sex with a minor and filmed that encounter. You know, you give me such a strong desire to be like, oh my gosh, Cal's backstory, I really love this, and I sympathize, I empathize. And then you remember who we know in real time, and then I'm like, so what was the point of all of this? That's a great question. And that's where Cal left me in episode 3. What was the point of this? However, in episode 4, we do see more of Cal and his dynamic with having a past, you know, queer lover, where that didn't go because you know, he shot up the club. But I don't think Cal's backstory really put much more into context, especially in episode 3, not at all in my opinion. But I think in episode 4, where we see when we get to like towards the end of the episode and Cal is going off on his family, he's reading them down. He said, Aaron, my oldest son, you're strange. The things you're into, really effing weird. Nate, don't know you, you're a mystery, but I hate you. And you know what, obviously we all feel the same way. If you're a Nate stan, you've got some reevaluating to do, but that's besides the point. You know, I think seeing Cal's backstory in episode 3 and seeing his actions in episode 4 kind of makes sense. You know, bringing out the Jeep, having his nostalgia, going to that same gay bar, you know, and ruining that moment for himself is, you know, I enjoyed it. However, I didn't come for the Cal Club. I kind of came to see like teenagers, you know, be teenagers. But I do understand of adding dynamics of like complexity and, you know, substance to parents. Not every parent has to be like one stick, you know, one-dimensional type of character. So I understand the use of giving Cal, you know, a little bit of zhuzh. But yeah, I think it's... I'm never rooting for Cal. That's a fact. But, you know, the context was cool. It was cool to see. Does it really push the story along? I don't think we'll really know until episode 8. So we'll see. We'll come back and see. We're going to table the Cal discussion. There will still be Cal slander, but we'll table this and come back. Okay. Moving on. Let's just keep it in the Jacobs family. Nate, you know, I really have nothing to say about Nate. He's giving secret love affair who doesn't want to get caught. I have nothing to say about Nate. I will say though, in my last video on Euphoria, I did think that Nate was a reason as to why it seems like the cops are coming for Fez. I think I'm gonna take that back, and we'll get to why later on. When we talk about Fez and Rue. But yeah, Nate's really giving me nothing right now, and not that I needed to give him anything, because Nate is a menace, and every time that man is on screen, the butterflies, the anxiety butterflies just bloom. So move on. Next, Maddie. I feel like, I don't know, I think my expectations for Maddie coming out of season 1 is that I wanted to see more of her outside of this toxic relationship with Nate, which I think we are getting. In episode 4, they have like this discussion on like, did you know that I loved you? Did you feel loved by me? And, you know, Nate says no. And honestly, that's a reflection on Nate more so than it is with Maddie, because we know from Nate's backstory that like he really just sees women as like a prize to be won, especially Maddie. So if he was specifically even looking for love in the first place, that's a different discussion than like, did you feel loved by me? But you know, that's context that we have as a viewer. That's a critical thinker, not necessarily a reflection on Maddie. I will say in episode 4, that hot tub scene was very funny because he didn't need to say it that fast. It was his tone of voice. And the girls who, not even the girls, anybody who's ever like, it was really a Real Housewives moment, because why did you say it like that? And why did you say it so fast? That wasn't your question to answer. Anyways, Alexa Demi really just does for me as an actress. She's very funny. Love her. I want to see more out of like all of these characters that we got intimate flashbacks on. You know, if we're gonna go more in depthly into Cal, why, you know, can't we see more of Maddie's home life? I think we do see more of like Cassie and Lexi's home life, so that's a plus. But like where are Kat's parents? Where are Maddie's parents? Like, we dedicated so much time season 1 to say like, this is how they grew up. This was like, you know, that one pivotal moment in their life that like is the reason why we see them as this to this day. Like, can't we go more into that? I think the characters are becoming a little one-dimensional this season, and I think that's interesting because season 1 made them so complex, and I'm a little offended that we're not getting that. So moving on, Cassie, Cassie's another girl I really wanted more for. And let me tell you something. Okay, so the streets are saying, and when I say the streets, I mean a post posted by someone on Lipstick Alley. Those are the streets. The streets are saying that this Cassie and Nate storyline wasn't originally supposed to be Cassie and Nate. It was supposed to be Jules and Nate. And I think in conclusion, I will say I didn't want either of those storylines. However, Jules and Nate having a secret affair makes more sense because of what we were building upon in season 1. But not even if you think about it, because if you watch the Jules special, she sits in therapy and she talks about how she knows that everything she was doing was for the male gaze and male validation, and she wants to stray away from that. So if that post contributor, whoever that person was who said that the storyline was supposed to be Jules and Nate, I don't think that would have been a good storyline, a good moment, because why is somebody who's in the middle of realizing their ways go back to somebody who not only catfished them but, you know, tried to blackmail me, physical harm, you know, like that doesn't really make sense to me personally, if that's true. But I digress. Cassie, my love, you need to hang out with your sister. You need to talk with your sister. You need to come into Jesus moment, because what is happening? We know what's happening. You're feeling guilty, you're feeling tossed to the side, you're feeling abandoned, and that's because you're hooking up with your best friend's ex / about to be boyfriend again. So let's get some self-reflection in there, my love. Let's really analyze what we're doing here, because it doesn't make sense. And let's go back to how you ended season 1 and you said you wanted to be alone. I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound such like a talking head, but everything that I'm talking about is just like, I can't help but be frustrated where we are halfway through season 2 when like how the characters ended in season 1 were so good. I'm not expecting everybody to be like perfect and have empathy and always make the right decisions because they're in high school. I wasn't making the right decisions when I was in high school. Well, I was minding my business in high school. I had friends who weren't making the right decision in high school, but like, oh my God, what happened to the original plot of the movie, please? So I really don't have anything to say about this Cassie, Maddie, Nate love triangle because it irritates the living soul in my body and I want it to go away immediately. So, you know, maybe we'll have an update after episode 6. Maybe. Moving on, let's just get into the meat and potatoes. First of all, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I want more Lexi and Fez scenes. Where are they? I have not gotten anything since episode 2. What's going on here? Sam? Let's get back to that, please. Moving on. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes. Let's get into who is raising my blood pressure on a weekly basis. And that's Jules, Rue, and Elliot. Let's talk about Elliot. Because I don't like Elliot. And I think I said this in my other video. And if I didn't, let the record know. I do not like Elliot. I think he's a sneaky little shithead. And we saw his sneaky little shithead ways. First, we saw them in episode 3. Him and Jules hanging out, smoking weed. Oh, you're so sexual. How are you with a person who's not sexual? Oh my god, you're so hot. Excuse me? And Jules, you falling for it. You falling for that nonsense. Are you kidding me? You were just over here in episode 2 with the light in Elliot's face because you were like, you have a crush on Rue and you're trying to get with my girlfriend and we have issues. And you know what, ladies? Listen to your gut. Listen to your gut. Because then not only he tell you were hot, not only did he question how you could be with such a non-sexual person when you are such a sexual person, he has a crush on your girlfriend. And sure. You know, you can be friends with people you have crushes with. I personally can't relate. If that's your ministry, I'll let you speak to that. But I think it's just very interesting. We were all hanging out having fun, right? And now this is about to be a love triangle. Are you kidding? Sam Levinson, are you kidding? And you know what, Elliot? I saw what you did at episode 4, you sneaky little shithead. Well, which I felt conflicted for in the beginning because the post making out with Jules before Rue comes over, you know, Rue goes to the bathroom to get high. It's Elliot's turn. Elliot doesn't want to do drugs. Now, originally, I took that as Elliot and Jules are starting to become closer and Elliot is feeling guilty for his uses of drugs, his secret that he's hiding of, you know, Rue not being sober. I originally took that as he's starting to have a conscience. But now that I've simmered on it for 2 days, I'm still a little stuck between that and now I'm currently stuck with if Elliot is just being manipulative. And I think that makes more sense because at the end of episode 4, Rue really hurt Jules' feelings. You know, Elliot confesses that Rue isn't sober and he's been getting high with her. Now, once again, is that because you were trying to... Well, no, I won't say it's not because he was trying to get in Jules' panties because he does. That is the moment he confesses when Jules is like, all right, F Rue, let's get it on, buddy. That is when he confesses. So I do think it is with a guilty conscience, but I think it's kind of in that way of like, do you actually have my best interest at heart or are you trying to like get with me? You're pretending to have my best interest. So I'm making you believe I'm a nice person. So like you think you're falling for a genuine kind soul and you're not. You're just manipulating, you know? I don't know. I'm still out on the fence about Elliot and his intentions. I don't trust him. I don't. So that's interesting. Jules, my love, I know you want to make out with Elliot because your girlfriend doesn't give you the validation that you need because she's high, and I'm not sure how you can't tell she's high. You think it's weed, but it's not weed. So that's really like, I don't know how she was justifying that to herself, honestly. But Jules is pissing me off as she was doing to me in season 1. But in season 1, I think it was more of like, I can't be put into this box. Whereas season 2, it's like, I need to seek validation elsewhere. And you know who's doing that to me too? Kat. And I'm not really going to talk about Kat in this video because like literally the material is not giving Kat anything to us other than like she thinks she should be happy in this relationship with Ethan, and she's not. Which is annoying, because all we did in season 1 was see Kat become this man-using, man-hating woman, which I love, using men for their bodies, and that's it. And that impacted her relationship with her friends. And then we saw that, and then we saw her being standoffish with Ethan, and then she got feelings, and then she was like, wow, liking somebody and not using them for their body. And now she's in this situation and she's realizing she's not happy. So what's supposed to happen now? Like, if you're gonna give us I'm miserable when I have everything I should want right now, like, we should be seeing more of that in the show. But we're not. We're just getting the words. We're not getting the actions. So that's annoying. Sam, I think you should work on that. Child. Anyways, so last but not least, Rue. Girl, you're high as a kite every day. I get that. I'm very interested to see how the suitcase dynamic is gonna work out. Not only because she obliterated her relationship with Ali in episode 3, which broke me down, child, but, and I think she did that obviously because when you have people who are closely affected to like drug addiction or alcohol abuse, there are ways in which they are defensive and therefore ruin their relationship with their loved ones. And Ali is definitely a loved one. Ali essentially at this point is Rue's father figure, and we got so much of that in Rue's special. So to see her just obliterate that is absolutely so saddening. I don't think it's over for Rue and Ali though, because Ali's an addict, like, you know, a recovering addict himself. He definitely knows what it's like to push people away and say the specific things that hurt someone. So I think he is going to have more compassion for Rue than we, you know, at this point have seen, because we haven't seen Ali since episode 3. But Rue is getting high off of $10,000 worth of drugs that this white lady gave to her that knows of Fez really well. And I see this, and in the like weeks to come trailer, we see this scene of like Rue definitely strung out and the white woman like talking. So obviously there's a point where maybe Rue comes to her high. I don't know, because we're getting deeper into this drug world, which I'm not really a fan of as a subplot, because like I thought we were in high school, but okay. I think that I can see this going 2 ways. I could really see this woman ending Rue's life in the worst way possible by coming after her family or coming after Fez for snorting up all of her money. Or I can see this woman having compassion, because in the trailer for episode 5, we see a shot of like a door with a lock on it. Is she detoxing Rue? Is she locking Rue away to sex traffic her, as she threatened to do, you know, in episode 2 or 3? Like, that's gonna be really interesting to see. I'm because this woman is so smart and she's so like very much the brains. So I'm curious I'm wondering if we're gonna see a compassionate drug dealer or if we're gonna see a menacing drug dealer. And that gives me anxiety, so that's really good. I don't know where I'm putting my down bad meter, but either way, everybody's down bad at this point. Everybody's down bad, so can we only go up from here? Can we continue to be down bad? I don't know. For the sake of something, I hope we move up. This was another Euphoria video. I'm Key, your Euphoria correspondent. I hope to see you next time, and I hope to have more exciting things to talk about and less criticism. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, I want to know your theories, guys. We're halfway through season 2. What's gonna go on from here? Is Fez gonna die? Is Rue gonna die? Is Jules and Rue going to break up? Is Elliot gonna die? I kind of want him to go. Are we gonna see Alexi shine because she's a star? We freaking better. When will we know that Maddie knows that Cassie and Nate are fucking around? So many questions, so little time. Will Kat break up with Ethan knowing that she's not happy? So many questions, so little time. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.